One, two, three, one, two, three in the place to be. Should play a partner from the bottom of the map. Um, this is a solo um, because we didn't do anything after the game Friday. And just kind of just tuned in and listened to what everybody else had to say over the weekend. Um, let some of the feeling die down. Um, everybody probably was really high on the, energy was up real high. People were disappointed. Um, people probably, breaking TVs, wrecking they man cave and all of that stuff, ripping up. Um, but um, I think that's what I came to after the feelings have died down and subsided a little bit. And, it's like the calm after the storm. Um, I'm really here to say, the title of this one is, Miami is who we thought they were and coming to the conclusion of who they always will be. All right. Um, Before the game, me and Ike Hayes was talking about this potentially being a trap game and not a trap game in the sense of being a letdown. Trap game in the sense of we fall into this, we fall in love with the idea of what they could be and not what they really are. What Miami really is a talent heavy team that has, moments of greatness, right? Moments of where you really believe, like, it's something about this team that's different. I'm sorry, we felt that way last year. We got Cam. Something about this team we pulling out wins that we shouldn't have. Years past we would have lost. Even in the game against Virginia Tech last year, the game we would have lost in years past, but we found a way to win. The game against Cal, those games we would have lost in years past, we found a way. Something about this team that's different. Uh, we said that with TVD. We said this in years past. And I'm here to say, I told you so. I told you so. Um, this team consistently can be outcoached. And when you get a team that is marginally as talented, not fully, but marginally, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue because they can coach. Other teams that aren't as talented could coach it to an even match. Um, and the thing that I feared before the game, and the game, if you go back and check the tape, I said I wasn't worried, but I said I know this could be a game we can get out coached and we can get out schemed. And that's kind of exactly what happened. And you guys been through all through the X's and O's. Y'all been through what play calls weren't called, what schemes, what we should have did, how they out schemed us in the run game, how they shut down our run game, how we couldn't make adjustments after halftime, yada yada yada. And I've been on this since last year, and it's been a show. Miami is show and prove to me now. There's no more just blind faith. It's no more fanaticism for me, right? It's show and prove, um, and they're not proven to me. They haven't shown that they can do it consistently for a full year. They haven't shown they could do it consistently against teams that have not as much talent, not as many 5-star recruits and this big name player, but they're talented, in certain areas. But the coaching is just it's just light years better. And I'm just gonna say it until Miami gets a killer as the head coach, not a spokesman, not a politician, not a talking head, not a figurehead, somebody who's trying to like really push something that's beyond their own personal agenda. Like we try to go dominate every team we play, no matter what it takes. We're gonna pull out. We knew against Louisville. Everybody said it, right? Everybody said it before this game. We knew their coach was gonna pull out all the stops. We were gonna see wrinkles and stuff we hadn't seen before, right? This was gonna be a game. This was gonna be a chess match. This was gonna see who's gonna be able to adjust and counter strike. They struck first. And it's like we didn't have a solid counter strike because once they took away our passing game, we didn't have the running game to rely on. Now we've been working on this running game for 2 years, right? Sorry to say, y'all, like the running game stinks. The offensive line, it ain't cutting it. For our head coach to be this O-line god, this O-line whisperer, we're not cutting it, y'all. And I think it's just time to start calling a spade a spade. Until we see something different, we're gonna keep encountering the same things over and over and over again. And like you keep doing the same things, you're gonna keep getting the same results. Now you can flip the table over, break the glass, throw the baby out with the water, whatever they say, whatever the saying is, you can do it. The bottom line is like, if you go off of history and we look at, you gotta watch other teams. I'm sorry, like people just like I don't care about anybody else. I watch teams like Alabama get into dog fights and fight their way out. I watched Georgia get into a dog fight this weekend with Ole Miss, and Ole Miss had them scrambling, and Kirby makes adjustments after halftime. I'm not going to say I'm a huge Kalen DeBoer fan, but I've seen him make adjustments. I've seen other coaches when their teams are reeling or they're just not in a flow or they need something, they make some type of adjustment. They do something that gives the team some steam. A la, instead of kicking the field goal, we do the fake field goal, get the first down, score the touchdown. You don't think that injected some energy into the team? Our coach is really like about that. Our coach say, you know what? We throwing everything at them. They're going to see formations and shit they ain't seen before. Our running back has had under 100 yards total in his last 3 games, but we going to make sure we get you loose this game. But our coach doesn't do the same. Our defensive scheme doesn't adjust. We could have, we got all these all-American tight ends. We could have just went stupid crazy with the tight ends. We could have just went stupid crazy with throwing the ball to the backside of the backfield. Besides all that, because everybody has a theory on what we should have did, right? And my conclusion isn't about what we should have did, it's about who we are. And until we prove otherwise, we're literally the Penn State of the ACC, right? We'll put on some makeup, put on the wig, put that push-up bra on, put that booty pad on, and you look real sexy. Come out, strut in front of everybody, looking sexy. Ooh, who that? Damn, that sexy girl on the block. Ooh, I know she fine. She take that wig off. She take the lashes off, that makeup off, that push-up bra, that booty pad, and she looking like, looking like a foot dragger. Ain't looking like nothing. Ain't looking like, I knew it wasn't real. Looking like, it was too good to be true. And that's what Miami is. Miami is looking like it's too good to be true. That's why I didn't get up for this game. I didn't get up for the number 2 ranking. I'm not. It's a wrap for me. It's a wrap for the season for me. I don't see no playoffs. I don't see no ACC championship game. There will be another loss because the pressure is on us to win out. And there's going to be somebody else we play where they're gonna be like Syracuse last year. We ain't finna win, but we ain't gonna let you win, and we'll just outcoach you. Now I feel the culture of the players have changed. I don't think the players were really hurt by the loss. You could tell they was really fucked up behind the loss. But let me not say all the players, because I seen Carson Beck throwing people under the bus, talking about the last play. I threw the right read, but the receiver ran the wrong route. I don't think that was the best time to say that. I don't think that's the best time if you're trying to instill confidence in your team, keep the locker room together. You're throwing people under the bus. I'm pretty sure other people have had something to say about this, but I ain't been the biggest Carson Beck fan. Think he's cool. I thought this was going to be a game where the two early picks was going to not have a heavy effect on him. Like, okay, I didn't mind him actually taking a couple deep shots. You want to try to stretch the field. You got people who can take the top off. So I respected it, but I expected him to come out and play a little bit better in the second half. I think I've seen this from him before, and did not. I expected our defense to come out and play better in the second half, and did not. I expected an answer, and there were none. And you know what I expected? I expected us to be what we always been, a duck. Bro, it is what it is, man. Like, we gotta stop like trying to dress it up. I need some people to really get out here and just say what it is. Until we prove otherwise, we are what we are. We're not good enough. That's just what it is. Until other teams can say, yo, Clemson, I don't care what Clemson going through. Because you know what Clemson can say they did in the last few years? They got national championships. Ohio State can say I got national championships. Georgia can say I got national championships. Bama can say I got national championships. We can't say that. Matter of fact, we can't even say we got an ACC championship. I think Wake Forest got one. Louisville got one. Pittsburgh got one. FSU got multiple. Georgia Tech. I think even Duke got them. I think North Carolina has one. Miami has none. We have none. And until we all accept that we're the pig, that they dress up, and the pig start looking sexy, you're like, damn, the pig looking good right now, man. The pig might, no, it's still a pig until we prove otherwise. And we are what I thought we were. Talent heavy, talent rich. We're going to play some good games. We're going to play some good ball. But when it comes up against a team who, not top to bottom, not everywhere, not as talent rich, but has some talent, they got coaching, we're in trouble. And until we solve that puzzle, we are what we are. I'm tired of hearing people try to say it's something else. We got 20 plus years of the same old story. We Nebraska. We Penn State. We the team that came, like, we haven't gotten over the hump. Nebraska, their last time doing something was Tommy Frazier, Scott Frost. These are days of past. Penn State ain't did nothing since what? I don't know. Kajana Carter? I don't know. Kerry Collins? Who knows? It's been so long. That's who we are. Michigan can even say, we got a national championship. USC can say we got a national championship. Texas, like teams can put their hat on something we can't put our hat on. We don't even have a conference championship. We ain't got a conference championship. Shit, we only been to the conference title game, twice? It ain't like we're a staple there. At FSU can say at least we've been a staple. We ran this shit for years. Nobody beat us for years in the ACC. We can't even say that. So I know people are, may hear this and be like, man, you off the bandwagon, you're not a real fan, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Everybody's gonna have an opinion. Um, and this is to say, we just gotta accept what it is until they prove otherwise. This team has to go, and if they want to prove it, it's at the rest of the season. We had a hiccup against Louisville. We learned from it. We recovered, and we ran the table. We won the ACC. We got in the playoffs. We did something in the playoffs. Then, okay, we can say something. But if they tumble down the Yellow Brick Road into 9-3, no ACC appearance. Let's say they even get to the ACC title game and lose, and somehow get to the playoff. It's still the same thing. Oh, sorry, y'all. You got to prove otherwise. You ain't got to a title game. It's teams that done got to a title game. Penn State was in the semifinals last year. TCU done made it. Washington has made it. Like, it's teams that have gotten deep. Miami ain't sniffed it. We ain't got close. We get the bowl games and get our ass whipped. We playing on December 23rd. We ain't even seeing January 1 bowls. Bro, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Let's be real. We're not even getting to the big bowl games. We're getting to the smaller bowls, Pop-Tart bowls, the UnderArmour.com, whatever. And we're losing consistently year after year after year after year. We get all this talent. We believe. We get a coach. We believe. We get a couple big wins. We believe. And it doesn't materialize through a whole body of work. And if they don't preach, this has to be a complete body of work. You can't throw, we beat Florida State, we beat Notre Dame, we beat US. It has to be a complete body of work. You don't think Louisville is talking shit right now? That boy, Isaac Brown, had 94 yards. And that's it. Like, what else is supposed to be happening? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I guess there's only so much you can say. And y'all tell me what we're supposed to do. What we should feel. How I should feel. And this is just words of me. I just need to get that off my chest. But man, we are who we thought we were, who I thought we were, and who I think we always gonna be till we prove otherwise. We know we don't even gonna have random years. Some teams have random years where they get really good. Virginia Tech has a random year. Pittsburgh has a random year. We ain't had a random year. We ain't had a fluke year where just the magic comes together and the story is being written. Oh, the national title games being played at Hard Rock, and we're gonna end up nah players. So yeah, just I had to get it off my chest, and we're still gonna be tapping in, talking about these games and what's happening in college football and the whole landscape. A lot of things changed this weekend. It's a lot of stuff that's up and down. Georgia Tech and Louisville, they still kind of control their own destiny. And it's like we still got a shot, but a lot of stuff got to happen. We should be in the driver's seat, and we're not in the driver's seat. Like I said, I watched a lot of football this weekend. I watched a lot of college games. There's a lot of teams that were like in some real dog fights, and you seen the adjustments being made to make sure they pulled out. I mean, Duke played the hell out of Georgia Tech. They actually should have beat them, But Georgia Tech made the adjustments, and we all know Georgia Tech cannot throw the ball. They still cannot throw the ball, but they still are doing enough on offense and enough on defense to get wins. And we're not. And that's kind of the bottom line to it. So until we prove otherwise, we are what we are. And until we do something there, this is what we always gonna be. I'ma sound like a hater. I'ma sound like a Debbie Downer. I'ma sound like I ain't no fan. But damn it, we gotta call it like it is and hold it until this team pulls it all, like start to finish, all the way through. We say take it a game at a time, week by week. But at the same time, I'm looking at the every week. I'm looking at the big picture too. We got to put it together complete, all the way. It got to be complete, top to bottom. And coaching got to take a whole lot of that steam. They got to take all that heat because I feel like the players are there. I felt like the players were there last year. I felt like the players were there a year before that. I felt like the players were the year before that. I felt like the players were there the year before that. I'll never look at this team and be like, we don't have players. I'll never look at. I did the last time I looked at this team and said, damn, we're just really lacking at the quarterback position was like N'Kosi Perry. Like that's the last time I felt like we was just lacking. I liked King. I liked when we had Williams. I liked when we had TVD. I liked Malik Rozier. I liked Brad Kaya. I liked Ja'Cory. I kind of like damn near all the quarterbacks we've had. There ain't been a whole bunch I just haven't liked. Our running back room is always good. Our receiving core, other than a few years ago, we were just dropping passes left and right. But our tight ends have always been really good. Like I don't think our defense has been. Our defense could have been coached up better, but when you see the players when they move on to the next level, like you see what Greg Rousseau does in the league and Jalen Phillips, and you see what they do in the league. So it ain't like we don't have players. We got players. It's just all the other. Anyways, man, shout out to everybody who's still rocking with, bottom of the map. Y'all don't have to put this on IKs. This is on me. And until we prove otherwise, we are who I thought we were. And like I said, we're looking at being Penn State. We're looking at being Nebraska. That's who we are at the ACC. That's who we are. And give me some facts or some points to prove otherwise. I know Katie, South Coast, Cuban. Yeah, prove otherwise, man. Like, tell me something. Give me something. You know what? I got good news. Florida State got their ass whooped by Stanford. That's good news. So I was happy about that. But now that Florida State, 6-point win don't even look that great no more. Because they getting their ass whooped by everybody. And we had to pull out a nail biter against them. So you see what I'm talking about? But anyways, this is your player partner for the bottom of the map. I had to get off my chest. Make sure y'all tune in for the next video as we go into, seeing if the season going to unravel or if we're going to put it together. We're going to bring it back and finish out strong. But until then, it's your player partner for the bottom of the map. I'm out.